Hi everybody, this is Nancy. I'm here to do part 2 of Loving Yourself. I'm sorry that the video cut off, but still new at this YouTube thing. But nevertheless, I pretty much said what I wanted to say as far as how I got to the point where I learned how to love myself, and it wasn't something that nobody could tell me. I really couldn't read it in a book. I've read books, self-help books, done the whole thing, but loving yourself starts with the inside. And it usually, sometimes it goes, you have to experience pain. Most of the time it's excuse me, it's from a broken heart. All of us have had a broken heart, and how we choose to mend it, to move on, to numb it. It's a choice. We all make that choice, and sometimes it's easier to go for a drink. Sometimes it's easier to replace the one that broke your heart with someone else, but it's still there. They'll never fulfill it. Nobody could fulfill it. I've learned that only my Creator can, and I bless Him and I thank Him every day for loving me so much, for waking me up consciously to being the person that I am, the person that I'm supposed to be. I'm still growing, and I don't want to stop learning. When that day comes, I guess, that would be my destination, and I'm still on a journey. I'm enjoying this journey. But, so I left off at how we take things for granted. And we don't do that on purpose. We don't. We appreciate everything that we have. The thing is, we just get comfortable. And when you get comfortable with what you have, you no longer treasure it. You no longer value it. You want something more. We always want something more. But God doesn't give us more than what we can handle. It works both ways. He won't give us more pain than what we could handle. He also won't give us, more desires. He won't fulfill our desires if we don't appreciate what we have right now. If we don't appreciate the little things, if we don't appreciate the people who are in our lives, if we don't appreciate our body, if we don't appreciate our job, our car, our house, just examples. But He wants to give us so much. But we have to know that it wasn't just something we did on our own. He provided, and He deserves all the credit. He deserves all the credit. So, there's a passage in the Bible, and I'll read it. It's in Psalms 119, verse 71. It says, "It was good that I was afflicted, so that I may learn your rules, your ways." And that's pretty much, it lays it out right there. It's like, we don't appreciate, we don't like going through pain. We don't like going through suffering. We don't know how to handle it. We don't. We're human. And we tend to do what we did in the past, and it just gets you back to the same place. So I thank God that I made the choice and I cried out for Jesus to save me. I thank Him for my salvation. Best thing that ever happened to me. But I wouldn't have got here if I hadn't went through that. So, everything works together for the good of those who love the Lord. And also, I just wanted to make this video a little bit about once we get to a comfortable, not comfortable, I don't like that word comfortable, because once you get comfortable, then, it's okay to experience a little bit of rest. But if you find yourself in a comfortable spot, it's best to snap out of it, because we're not here for that. We're here to serve. We're here to help others. And sometimes, we're the catalyst of somebody's awakening. And if that's our purpose, then that's our purpose. We're not going to always, not everyone is going to like us. Not everyone is supposed to like us. And if everybody is, if you are trying to be that person where everybody has to like you, then you're not being yourself. Because being yourself means some people are not going to like you. Doesn't mean that you mistreat them. It doesn't mean that you ignore them. It doesn't mean that you show them treat them the way they're treating you. There's this other passage in the Bible, and I'll read it. It's under Matthew 22, verse 36 through 40. A lot of you are familiar with this, but the two greatest commandments are love thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind. And the second is love thy neighbor. The second greatest commandment is thou shalt love thy neighbor as yourself. So until you learn how to love yourself, you won't know how to treat others. Like I said, not everyone's going to like you, and most times they're not going to understand you. When you've come to this place of enlightenment, I mean, it did come through pain, but they don't see that. They don't see what you went through. They just see all of a sudden this person that you've become, and to them it's like, who does she think she is? Maybe, I don't know. I don't like to think for other people, but I'm guessing that's how it is. And walk a mile in my shoes. They only fit me. So if others choose to treat you a certain way, then in your mind, you can still send them love. You don't have to tell them I love you regardless of how you treat me. No, you don't have to do that to yourself. I have a personal relationship with God. He knows my heart. And it's still painful. I'm not going to lie that my feelings get hurt, but they're not responsible for my life. They're not my entry to heaven or hell. So I won't give them the power to affect my mind or my feelings with their opinions. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know how you feel, but I don't have to accept it. And I wish you well. And everybody everybody deserves a choice. Everybody should have their choice in what they want to do. If one chooses to go a certain route, you could be an example. You might want to give them some advice, but in the end, everybody has the right to live their life the way they want. Maybe it's not time for them to wake up. Maybe they need to experience some pain, because like I said, that's the catalyst. That's heartbreak is the catalyst to becoming the best you. And if we try to coddle everybody from experience pain, then we're defeating the whole purpose of waking up, becoming the best you. So, be an example. Don't be the fixer. You're not the fixer. You're not the saver. Only Jesus, can save. But let them know that you're here for them, should they ever want to speak. But, you love them enough to let them go. Let them experience life the way they need to, the way they want to. I've learned that I've had to make some decisions in my life since my awakening, since consciously being awake. And it's still, I've there for a while. I was stuck in between two lives, the old way and the new me, the old me and the new me. And I've learned that I cannot let my feelings or my emotions be my GPS. I've learned that I've got to follow my peace. I've got to take time to feel my peace, and that's usually what draws me to make a decision. And it's anything that you have to make a decision on that moment is usually not the right decision. Because if it's meant for you, then it'll be there tomorrow. If it's meant for you, it'll be there next week. Or, however long it takes. But if you have to make a quick decision and go by impulse or feelings of, if I don't do it now, then I'm going to lose it. If I have to tell somebody how I feel out of anger, that's not you. That's your emotions. That's the old you trying to say, hey, look at me. I deserve to be treated a certain way. Well, you do. But unless you treat yourself and not let anybody opinions affect you, then you're still you're still living off of what other people think. And those are just little things I've learned since. What helps me to love myself is because we are in this world. We're not alone. We have to experience life through other people, and that's amazing, because that's how we grow. We can't isolate ourselves. Yes, there was a time during my period of learning who I am, I did have to be alone, because I did have to listen to God. He had to tell me who I am and who I'm not. And it's a reprogramming of the mind. So it is very important. But once you get to a point where I get it, and I know that we're here and we're amongst other people, that every experience, every bad and good experience is there to teach you something. And it's all a test. It's a test to see how we're going to react. It's a test to see how we're going to treat someone else. It's a test to see that life is not just about being happy. Life is, God did not put us here to say, I want to make you happy. Love me and I'll love you and you'll be happy. No, it is like the furthest thing that, there is. He wants us to become the person that he knows we're supposed to be. And so, we're not supposed to push away the dark. We're supposed to bring our light to the dark. And if the dark wants to run, we let them go. And, bless them and send them off with love. This is just, I know it's a whole different way of thinking, but that's what I've learned. Excuse me. And I've also learned that it's important to protect your mind, your body, your soul. It like the first commandment, give it to God. He is the one that is deserving of all that. Secondly, yourself. Respect yourself. Do not let other people's opinions or how they see you affect your mind. Don't be swayed by having things, material things. Don't sell your soul. And your body is a treasure. It's a gift from God. And there's a lot of ways that we harm our body by how we eat, maybe drink or smoke, or even being out in the sun longer than what we're supposed to. But we can't really, there's a process. Everything is a process. And, with time, the more we love ourselves, the more we will push some things aside. But the most important thing that we could control is who we give our body to. For men and women, your body is the place where it's the only thing that nobody could take, unless it was forced on. But this is a choice that we make. And we need to value it. We need to save ourselves. We need to give it to the person that's going to love you, the person that's going to honor you, the person that's that God has made for you. And that's all I want to say about that. But just enjoy life. Don't take things personally. It's not all about you. Everybody's going through their stuff. Everybody gets triggered. You could smile at someone and it might cause a trigger. Doesn't mean that they don't like you. It just means that they got triggered. It's not all about me, That's pretty much what it comes down to. Just be an example. Be your best self. Smile. Let your light shine. And love God first. you second, and treat others as you would like them to treat you. So that's my part 2. Stay blessed, and I'll speak to you soon.